Welcome back to MTN Live in the Mountain. So here on the couch now we have Caroline Stahlschmidt, and she is the health coach over at the Boone Healing Arts Center, and she's also the center coordinator at the Boone Healing Arts Center. But she has a lot of really great titles though. She also is a yoga instructor, and she's a really great cook as well. So, Caroline, you basically do everything.
Well, I do a lot.
I know. So let's talk a little bit about what you do, and you also have this wonderful website called Elevate Your Wellness.
Yeah, that's my business, Elevate Your Wellness. And so by title, I'm a health coach and a yoga instructor, but most people don't know what health coach means.
Yes.
So my passion is helping people who are feeling really tired and exhausted and kind of just run down and maybe fighting a disease or illness that they can't seem to overcome. My passion is to help them do that, to have them have more energy, reclaim their health, and reboot their life, essentially. Yeah.
So when do you teach your classes? I know you do it at the Boone Healing Arts Center, but do you teach classes over at App as well?
I do. So I teach yoga at Neighborhood Yoga, actually. Weekly classes at Neighborhood Yoga. And then I teach at ASU. I teach classes in yoga. And then I teach cooking classes at the Boone Healing Arts Center. I actually have one this Sunday. There's one spot left. And I also teach with a friend at Chatola Resort and Spa. My friend Catherine Scanton and I teach a class every other month out at Chatola. And that's actually how I started. We started teaching these classes at Chatola, and a career was born from there.
Yeah, so I'd say talk a little bit about why you even decided to get involved with, you know, wellness and health and yoga and everything.
Yeah. So I was always healthy, a runner and a biker, and I was already teaching yoga. But I actually had a whole previous life selling computer software for 14 years in the corporate world. And then in 2009, my husband, who was 38 at the time, was diagnosed with colon cancer. Totally out of the blue. He looked completely healthy on the outside. So that obviously flipped our world upside down, and the way that I decided to take control of it was to change how we were eating and to work on stress management for both of us. So we definitely tackled cancer with Western medicine for sure, but if you've ever experienced a disease or an event like that in your life, you're kind of just out of control. And the one thing that I could control was what we were eating. And so I just got really, really passionate about switching how we were eating, focusing more on a plant-based diet, getting out the processed food and chemicals and dyes and everything else. And we honestly did it because we were terrified and not really having a plan, like we'll just do this for 3 weeks or we'll see what happens. And we realized we felt so much better. Even while he was going through treatment and we were in this really stressful time, we felt so much better. We had more energy, stronger nails, better digestion, clearer skin. And so then that set me on my path.
Well, how is he doing now?
He's doing great. He's cancer-free.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so he's just about 4 years cancer-free and doing great. Yeah,
wow.
yeah. And he had his own transformation. He started. He helped to start the Boone Area Cyclist Cycling Club and helped build the Rocky Knob Trails. So he put his passions towards cycling and making an impact in the community in that way. Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's one way something originally starts off negative can really make a change in somebody's life.
And that's the other piece of it that I really love to focus on, that these huge events in our life can be transformational in an amazing way. And for us, I mean, I would never, ever, ever want to wish cancer on anyone or an experience like that, but certainly for us, it gave us a lot of clarity about what we wanted to be doing and our whole life. So.
In your cooking classes, what are some of the things that you cook or teach people to make?
So all my cooking classes are plant-based, so no meat, no dairy. That's just the way that I eat. I don't make all of my clients eat that way, but that's my passion. So like my class this Sunday at the Healing Arts Center is a gluten-free class. A lot of people need to eat gluten-free for health reasons. I did a deliciously dairy-free class, so teaching people how to replicate dairy without using dairy in food. At Chatola in June, we have a class that's a Southwest theme. And we just did a class that was all about cooking once to eat 5 times. So they run the gamut.
Yes.
Yeah, in May I'm going to do a class at the center about using alternatives to sugar. So weeding processed sugar out and some other ways that you can bake tasty treats without using sugar.
That seems like it's pretty crazy. But this whole thing just kind of changed your life like that. Now,
Yeah.
to learn all this stuff, how did you go about doing this?
What did I do? Well, I read a lot of books to start.
Okay.
I used to joke I would have just like cookbooks and all kinds of stuff stacked next to my nightstand. But then, as the passion grew, I went back to school. I went to a school called the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. So that was kind of the first step. And then I've continued my studies with some other teachers along the way. I'm doing a program right now called Whole Body Systems, which is like a really deep dive into more of the body functions. So, but my start was going back to school at the Institute for Integrative Nutrition.
Okay. What about the yoga? How'd that?
Yeah, yoga. I did my teacher training at Neighborhood Yoga, which is the yoga studio here in town, and I did that in 2008. And Valerie is the studio owner, and she offers a teacher training every year. So I did my training there and just started teaching at first small classes, and now I teach Saturday morning and Thursday night to pretty nice sized classes.
Wow. So when did you actually start? My sister's a yoga instructor.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering, when did you actually start doing it? I know it's still like a learning process.
It is. You're always a student.
Yes.
You're always a student. I started dabbling in yoga about 12 or 13 years ago. I still lived in Charlotte at the time, but it really wasn't until I moved to Boone and I started taking classes from someone who taught out at Chatola, and that really sparked my interest. And then once Neighborhood Yoga opened, which is like literally a minute from my house, that was when it really blossomed. So, yeah.
So I guess let's talk more about your business.
Sure.
Elevate Your Wellness. Tell us all about that, and also tell us your website so if people are interested, they can go to it.
My business is Elevate Your Wellness, which I formed about 2 years ago, small business, and the website is www.elevateyourwellness.com. And I do blog posts there with recipes, inspiration, other tips, as well as I have a newsletter that I send out each week. So if people are interested, they can sign up for the newsletter right at the top of my website. And each Tuesday, I send out a newsletter, and usually I include a recipe or a product recommendation, something like that, so people can get more information there. And then my business really, makes up all of these parts. Teaching yoga, I do private coaching with clients. So at the center, at the Boone Healing Arts Center, I work one-on-one with people who want to improve their nutrition or relieve stress, or perhaps, they're dealing with a disease. I obviously have a big interest in people who are dealing with cancer or have survived cancer, as well as autoimmune, because I have a lot of that in my family. So things like rheumatoid arthritis, hypothyroid, things like this. So I work one-on-one with clients at the center, and then I run group programs virtually. So actually today was the last day of a program that I ran called Delicious Detox, and I had 35 people from around the country who were doing this 10-day detox with me. So, yeah.
That's wonderful. So I want to try. She brought us this green, this green looking smoothie thing. I don't know if y'all can see this, but it is green. So what is in here? Like you said, kale.
Yep. So people who work with me and know me know that I'm like slightly obsessed with kale. So this is Dino kale. It's probably one of the best foods you can eat. And it grows wonderfully here in the high country. So kale, collard, spinach. Anytime you can get more greens into your diet, that's probably my number one tip, even though you both are sitting there going, oh!
Green food.
Green food. But in the smoothie, there's a banana, there's mango, there's kale. I threw a little bit of coconut in. I threw a date in to sweeten it up for you guys. And this recipe is actually on my website. It's called the Go-Go Green Mango Smoothie.
Okay. So is this good to maybe like energize you up like before a workout or maybe an after workout smoothie?
So I pretty much have a smoothie each morning. The reason I love smoothies is you can pack so much nutrition in, and you can use blueberries, and so then no one will ever know, including you, that there's greens in there. I could have tricked you guys, but I didn't. So if you use blueberries as your fruit, then you can hide greens in there, and your kids or your husband will never know. But I love smoothies because you can pack so much nutrition in. You can put them in the jar, head out the door, drink your breakfast on the way. So many of my clients are like, I know breakfast is important, but I just can't make time for it, and smoothies are a great way to do it. So
yeah, and I'm a person who doesn't really like a hearty meal anyway, so like something like a drink or something.
Yeah, I love some smoothies.
Yeah, yeah. And so the thing about smoothies is a lot of people like know smoothies just putting fruit in, but you can put tons of greens in there too. And I used kale today, but spinach and romaine lettuce are a little easier to drink in a smoothie because they're sweeter. So
okay, Drew. Well, we both tried a little bit of it.
Yeah, we did. It's not bad.
We'll try it for y'all because we love y'all. Okay. The main thing I taste right now is I just taste banana.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
and
I
it has like a different texture to it, but I don't taste any type of green food.
No, it's not that bad. It really isn't.
There's 4 leaves of kale in there, so you're both drinking kale right now.
I was telling her before the show, as y'all may know, I'm an extremely picky eater. Like, I don't like anything, nothing. I don't eat any green foods but lima beans and my mom's green beans. So I'm very weird about anything I like, and I kind of enjoy this. So if I like this, anyone else out there is going to like it too.
It's not bad. It really is
and this is on your website.
It is, yeah. It's a couple posts down, but yeah, it's on my website, Go Green Mango Smoothie, yeah. Awesome. And maybe you need to come see me, Alex.
Okay, if I want to come see you, if anyone else wants to come see you, how can they do that?
Yeah, they can call the center and they can book an initial consultation with me and come in, and we'll just spend some time talking about what's coming up for you, you know, what you want to achieve with your health. And what I always tell people, if you're saying you want to achieve something with your health, like having more energy or, you know, losing weight, and you're not reaching that goal, something's blocking you.
Yeah.
And so I've done a lot of work. I've studied what's called the transformational coaching method to help people get around those blocks. Because I can tell you all day that kale is good for you, but if you're not gonna eat it, you know, that's not gonna help. Right. So some of my work with people really is just exposing them to new foods. And then for other people, the work is more kind of figuring out what's blocking them and really helping them to make that transformation and you know, step into the life that they want to lead, whether that's disease-free or having more energy or I even have people now who are coming to me because they want to change their career and they've seen what I've done. So it's just, to me, it starts in the kitchen, that foundation of a healthy body and a healthy life, and then it grows from there.
My gosh, yeah. Was there anything else that you would like to say?
I think that's it.
All right.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
I know, well, than't you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
We appreciate
Thanks for coming
you.
on. We're back in a minute with more MTN Channel 18.